to the MoxStars podcast. I am Menace, one of your hosts, and I'm here on video with Rampage.
Hey, buddy, how we doing? It's good to see you.
Hey, on video for the first time. We talked about this a long time ago with Flash and everything, getting the dueling piano setup going, and it's finally happening. We're here. You can see our faces. Hello, everybody. Come find us on YouTube, where you can like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more notifications. See the MoxStars in the flesh. You can also find us on all major podcasting platforms, where you can leave us a 5-star review to make us look super duper cool. I'll even, if you go out and you leave a podcast review, 5 stars, every platform known to man, I will change my background to make it look cool. What should I change my background to if someone goes out and proves that they left a 5-star review? What should it be?
I don't know.
It's a super low bar.
Like what everyone does in the offices, make it look like some generic cityscape. Make it look like you're an office junkie.
Like in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, when he's like, "Oh, look at me! I'm in Hawaii. Hula, hula, hula."
A luau?
Yeah. No. It's look at me, I'm on the moon. Yeah. That's what we'll do. All right. So provide proof. You know where you can provide that proof? On Discord. You can join our Discord server and jump in there and post your photo with your proof of the 5-star review so that I can be on the moon. I can't breathe. There on the Discord server. You can also drop your deck list like Paloozy, who has been brewing with us on the Discord server with their Emil the Blessed list, which they're trying to get it to be a refined force. We've been talking about it, we've been working on it, and join us there on the Discord server. It's literally like today's discussion was, I just love talking about Magic, right? And so like when someone comes in and they're like, "Hey, what do you like?" and I'm like, "Hey, just let me tell you a little something about Sanctum Weaver."
I got the opportunity to talk about Sanctum Weaver. I'm going to do it.
Yes, and especially in a Selesnya shell. So, yes, we talked about it. Paloozy, thanks so much for sending the deck list over. Jump in the Discord server if you're not already in there and drop your list so we can talk about it on the show or in the server. You can also support us on Patreon by becoming an official Pepperhead. For $3 a month, you can become an official Pepperhead, have your name turned Dr. Pepper Red on the Discord server, and get a shout out like Gabe, McCoyan, Definitely Jeremy, Mono Greg, Revenlift, UWP Quirt, Will Rule, Poolboy Barry, and maybe Anthony. So thank you all for... Oh, wait. Time out. I don't want to miss this. I don't want to miss one. We have a new patron.
Bring them out.
Rye. So, Rye, thank you as well for joining the Pepperhead tier and, supporting the show. All right. This week, we have many a thing to talk about. So, we'll try to be concise. We'll try to stick with it. But this morning... No. I can't start with that. Can't start with the secret layers. I don't want to get mad too early. I'm like... I want to save the anger for end the show on an explosive note. So there's a bit of an enigma in the room, and we all know that this is now a Tayam Luminous Enigma cEDH podcast. Exclusively that and Dr. Pepper and Don Cheadle. So praise be the 23 flavors. Praise be the incredible talent on screen of Don Cheadle. Praise be Tayam Luminous Enigma. But there's one thing that every Tayam player dreads, and today we're going to talk about how to persevere when building Tayam to avoid the dreaded scenario of having your commander Gilded Draked. maybe it's you've been there.
It's so rough. You had mentioned, hey, let's talk about that. What's our action plan? When this happens, what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know. I've been there, and I was just like, I was sitting on my hands. The deck revolves around Tayam. I need the boy. What do we do?
It's literally the worst thing. It's the worst feeling. And it's made me as a deck builder get a little bit more creative with Tayam, which is a total build around. By the way, if you've never played the deck, it is a complete and total build around. It is like it is so commander centric, but the effect and the ability is so powerful. So it's like there's a reason for it, right? It's not just generically good.
Sometimes pros on that are so high that Tayam is the correct choice, but the cons are when Tayam's gone, when you're sitting under a Drannith, what do you do?
Yeah, so it has procced me to include a little bit more removal or alternate strategies within within the deck that still fit within Tayam's lines, and that's where I think I find the most beauty in like soul guards. So last week we, if you missed our Tayam Tech episode, you can find that. It'll be on the channel. You can find the channel, or you can like, subscribe, and ring that bell. But we talked about like new tech in 2025, where you can take the deck forward outside the normal confines of what is expected at a cEDH tournament. For Tayam, you need to be able to pivot on an axis where your opponents don't know exactly where you're going with your strategy, but you still are able to get there. So I suggested at the end that we look at Hepatra again. So in cEDH 4 years ago, I would say like 3 or 4 years ago, there was this combination of two cards, and it was called Sad Nauseum, and it's Hepatra and Yawgmoth Thran Physician. So Yawgmoth and Hepatra, Yawgmoth puts -1/-1 counters on things, so you were able to create a snake, and so Hepatra fuels this engine where you can just keep machine gunning out like -1/-1 counters and continue drawing cards for as much life as you can pay. So that's like one of those little mini games that I'm like actively pursuing within the deck, because it also benefits Tayam. Like if those two cards come out, the snakes still get vigilance counters, even though they're sacrificed. There's windows of opportunity for you to be able to like take the counter off or get an activation, or just in general create more bodies. And not just that, but Yawgmoth is a sack outlet, which these decks do need. Like you do need a sack outlet to instigate some of the combos that Tayam likes to pivot around. So that is like one of those little strategies that is within there. So yes, you have to burn tutors. Yes, you got to go get the stuff, and that requires resources. And after getting draked, you got to kill your own Tayam, right?
But while you're there, you're sitting there. You can still deploy stacks pieces. You can still slow the game down. You're still in black. All of your tutors are still alive. There's a way to cheat out a win or prevent somebody else from winning, going to time, getting that draw.
Yeah.
Play for your points.
Yes, and that doesn't necessarily have to be like the end of the world either. There are cards in every Kinnan deck, because Kinnan is another deck that completely functions around Kinnan. There is no side like strategy. There is no alternate path. You need Kinnan to resolve your combos. So they all play Homeward Path. So I was going to ask you, I was going to be like, like Rampage, is Homeward Path something that you would consider if Drake was something you were consistently seeing within your meta?
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned Kinnan. I want to go back to that. But Homeward Path is tough because, everything's a 1-drop or a 2-drop, and it's so pip intensive just to
let's land.
Not like it better be a pretty special land if it's not making me colored mana. I'm on City of Traders and Ancient Tomb, which I think we can agree are some good cards. Gemstone Caverns most of the time will make me a colorless mana. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a big...
it is a big ask because Tayam is color like pip intensive. All the creatures, like you said, 1 or 2 drops require pips. One of my alternative removal pieces for Drakes and for my own Tayam for Draniths, which is another issue this deck struggles with. Dranith Magistrate just kind of boots Tayam out of the game. Like, and the worst part is when you play your own Dranith and it gets cloned because you're just like, oh brother, like I don't think I'm playing Dranith. I'm not playing it anymore.
Because what if it gets copied?
Yeah.
That's a real consideration. And you mentioned, Kinnan not being able to function without its commander. During the tournament, it was my Tayam that got stolen by the Kinnan deck. They were on the Gilded Drake.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm going to sit there on my hands. That's good. Tayam is actively good for a Kinnan deck. When those creatures enter with vigilance counters and they can mill cards off the top a whole bunch and they pull back their Basalt Monolith and it's a real if they could, I would suggest Tayam gets ran in Kinnan list. It is so good. They're a high creature count deck as well. They're playing a big density of creatures. They can get those counters pretty easy.
Yeah. So one of my alternatives for this, right, for the Drake, and this leans into a combo line. So I did talk about like Yawgmoth and Apatra, and I do think that's like a way to kill, you can kill the Drake on the stack and instant speed if you have those two assembled, or you can machine gun your own Tayam down to get it back into the command zone. But Leonin Relic Warder, I think everyone's forgotten about this a little bit, but it's 2 white pips. It's on screen right now. So if you are not supporting us on YouTube and you want to see this card, you can find us on YouTube where you can like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. It's 2 white pips for a cat cleric that is a 2/2 that says when Leonin Relic Warder enters the battlefield, you may exile target artifact or enchantment. When Leonin Relic Warder leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to the battlefield owner's control. I'm going to be completely honest. I read that so confidently, and I'm going to look like an idiot because it doesn't help us. It doesn't help us in this scenario at all.
Artifact or enchantment. Yeah. I think when we were talking about win cons, like you mentioned the Sadnaws, I think that's still a viable method. Because if you have a Zulaport out, you can win the game. You don't need the Tayam. I used to be on the Witherbloom Apprentice and Chainasmog, just as like a backup win condition. I eventually cut it because the whole deck revolving around one thing, plus 2 extra cards in my deck that if I kind of get lucky and get those 2 together can also win me the game, didn't feel good. There was a lot of scenarios where I had one or the other in my hand and couldn't progress my board state because of it.
Yeah, and so I guess this Leonin Relic Order isn't completely obsolete because I read it mistakenly or it didn't fully understand the effect. I thought you could potentially hit a creature with it, but the deal is that this is also a win con. So any like animate dead with Leonin Relic Order procs infinite death triggers, and so Leonin Relic Order will leave, or it'll the animate dead will grab onto it. Leonin Relic Order will target the animate dead, and then it will remove the animate dead. It will die. The animate dead will come back. It'll bring the Leonin Relic Order back, and this loop is created where Leonin Relic Order keeps dying, and like so anything like Zulaport Cutthroat like on the battlefield with that just drains the table infinitely. Now it's valuable as well because in Tayam, like getting the activation, you can instant speed use a Leonin Relic Warder to exile an Underworld Breach, to exile a Rhystic Study, and then once it leaves the battlefield, like you can time that with as many sack outlets as you have. But I do think it's a valuable piece to have. It's an alternate win con that functions without having your commander like on the battlefield. So it's not completely useless. It's just one of those things where I thought it was a little bit more versatile than it is, but it is still incredibly versatile. And it, like this deck, that my list is a Protean Hulk list. So I am running like Animate Dead, Dance of the Dead, and Necromancy. So all of those work with Leonin Relic Warder and proc that, like that trigger of infinite deaths. So it is worth looking at because it is not dependent on Tayam, where you end up in those situations where you're like, oh, I hate Gilded Drake. I hate Volatile Storm Drake. I hate, Drannith Magistrate. This is something that can get around that. So something to have in your back pocket and probably should be ran. I know that like with your deck in particular, Rampage, you have a very heavy focus on Devoted Druid.
Yep.
Right? Like you have multiple avenues. You want to see as many redundant pieces so that when you do tutor it to the battlefield, you can achieve your goal, which is generate infinite mana, infinite triggers, infinite Tayam activations, right? I've sacrificed a lot of those multiple avenues and redundancies to have the deck function on its own without Tayam. So I'm probably not going to be able to move as quickly, like when it comes down to it, or have the opportunity as often or as frequent statistically as you will. But that's another thing to consider when you do decide to go this route. All right. So if you have any thoughts on Tayam, if you are an experienced Tayam player or you just love Tayam in general, and you have alternate win cons outside of relying on Tayam, let us know. Jump in the Discord server or jump in the YouTube comments. Let us know there as well. But we have bigger fish to fry today.
Right.
We are frying them because this morning we had the Super Scare, Secret Scare Super Drop. It dropped this morning. The thing that I really want to get into is the Universes Beyond element of it. Mechanically unique. Jaws, Terror of Amity Island, Secret Lair drop. The Office. These are all reskins, but Dwight Schrute. Go ahead. Do it. Yep.
What's up?
This is where the duality of the podcast comes in, where one person loves it, one person hates it. Do you love it? Do you love it, Rampage? You love the Dwight Schrute thing?
No, actually, I'm pretty cool with Dwight not being in my Magic. I'm a big Office fan, but, I would consider something like the Reaper King. I think that's pretty funny. That's cool.
Sure.
But you could get that. That's barely Office themed. That's a guy with a jack-o'-lantern on his head,
Yeah. Here, let's click
There's
up.
no Jello. There's no beats. It's subtle. That's cool. That I'm into. But I don't know if I want to cast Dwight assistant to the king.
Right. Yeah, it's all really it's when I saw it, I was at work when I saw it, and I was just like scrolling through and I saw it, and I put as soon as I saw this BS, I put my phone down. I like upside down. I was like, I'm done with the internet for today. It's like I
got it. I got one of the Dwight cards sent. I think it was the Swords of Plowshares. I got it sent to me in a group chat, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool proxy, man."
Yes.
That's cool. You should put that in your deck. Print that off. That's cool. And then I found out it was a Secret Lair. I'm like, oh, they actually did it.
Yeah.
Like,
I just put my phone down and I shook my head and I looked at the guy next to me. He's like, "What's wrong, dude? Like, your demeanor changed all of a sudden." I was like, "Yeah, I think I just quit Magic." I think I just quit. Like, there's a Dwight Schrute Secret Lair. Ripped Dwight Schrute. So it's a lot. It's a lot for in franchise like Magic players to experience. Like, all of us have grown up with, or who have grown up with Magic or have been playing now for over a decade. It's like Magic had this without words to actually like accurately describe it, it was special. And while the business practice of creating as wide a demographic as possible is pure unadulterated capitalism. It's how a company expands and grows and increases their profits year after year. Their shareholders are happier, whatever. The magic is gone, you know, like, and for the longest time it was like, yes, Magic the Gathering is special because they're creating unique content. They're creating unique stories and a delightful gameplay experience. And it's, you know, by broadening their horizons to create all this Universes Beyond stuff, it's just lost its immersion. And that's the most important thing I can tie to it is the immersion. Like, when you're playing Magic the Gathering from Kamigawa and then someone's like, yes, I will swords to plowshares your Sakushima, and it's fucking Dwight Schrute, and you're like, what do we... Yes, that's fine. Yeah, I just have to block that out, put my blinders on. But here's the next thing. Here's where this... You can't, like, before it was like, you can put your blinders on. You don't have to see it, right? You don't have to purchase. Like, you don't have to purchase Universes Beyond stuff. We'll just reskin it. And then they went, no, if you want this particular effect, you have to buy Sonic the Hedgehog. If you want haste.deck, if you want Shadow, if you want split second Shadow, you have to purchase it. There's no reskins happening anymore. There's none of that. So we're not trying to be too negative on it. The silver lining of this whole thing is that you can affect the number of products being made. I think that there's a pretty big stink being made about 7 sets coming out next year, and 4 of them being Universes Beyond. One of them being Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this is a set that's coming out. It was just announced this last week at New York City Comic Con. So flavorful that it's in New York City, but we returned to the fabled plane of New York City before we returned to Lorwyn. So they definitely like it a lot. The thing is, and I guess the point that I'm making, we'll talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in just a second, but you can speak with your wallet there, and you can speak in there are so many content creators out there right now who are the kind of voicing their criticism of this. The downside of it is that, remember when Outlaws of Thunder Junction came out and everyone was like, the tongue-in-cheek BS of Outlaws of Thunder Junction, like this whole hat, what was it?
Hat sets, yeah.
Yes, hat sets, right? And Mark Rosewater was like, we hear you. This is one of the worst selling sets of all time. We're going to make the change. We're not going to make as many hat sets as, you know, or make any hat sets moving forward because of how poorly it's been received. It takes at least 2 to 3 years for the stuff that they've already created to come down the pipe, right? They've already finished the set that'll come out in 2.5, 3 years. It's already finished. And it's coming. Like they invested in it. It's on its way. It's going to print. They're just they're sealing it up. They're about to ship that baby out. And then, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's already been made. It's already printed. Like they were giving cards out at Comic-Con. So that's the thing, is that you have to be patient with these things. Like, yes, we're not going to have hat sets. There will be another hat set probably in the next year or so. And then hopefully no more, because it's been a year and a half since Outlaws of Thunder Junction. So we can voice our concerns, and we can stand up and like strongly express that this is not what we want. While it is expanding your demographic, you're actually losing people at this point, like a little bit. You're starting to alienate the people who were the foundation for your company or for your game finding success in the first place. So it's going to take 2 or 3 years before, and Universes Beyond sets are going to keep happening. But for them to find a realistic answer and to be able to answer to it, it's going to take a while. Anyway, Rampage, any thoughts on my ramblings?
I had when I saw the Dwight Schrute thing, I told you about the group chat. I'm like, that's not real. And I found out it was real. I did some reflection. There is a dichotomy here, which you kind of acknowledge. I want all of the Universes Beyond sets that I want, and then I want none of the others. And that's a terrible position to have. I can't think that way. That's not healthy.
But I want the Furby.
I think that the solution is what you said. Make them special. If we got a Universes Beyond set once a year, I'd be in. Yeah, whatever it is. I'm not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle kid. But if this was our one set, I think I'd be in. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
There's cool cards. It's themed. Some of my buddies that are super into it, like, get really hyped about it. And that's fun. That's exciting. It's not exciting for me, but they're having fun. And that's cool.
Yeah.
And if that was unique or special and I didn't have to roll my eyes about their excitement, it would make it that much better.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be taken as like gatekeeping for new players, because we should be welcoming new players into the game. Just the way that the company has chosen to lure and attract those new players to the game has it's taken the shine away from Magic the Gathering. So, like you said, once a year, dude. Like you said, I'd be down to go to this draft if I didn't just experience the worst draft experience of all time with Spider-Man. It was horrible, and the set design was horrible, and the way it sold was horrible. And like, hopefully that is what I mean with like speaking with our wallets, but like, that sucked. It super sucked. And now I'm potentially facing another set that just super sucks.
I did get bummed out. You said we went to New York again before we went back to Lorwyn. Yeah. I had anticipated you were going to say Ikoria, and I made myself really sad that we still haven't come back to Ikoria.
Yep, has not happened. But to positively reflect on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there are 3 symbols on cards that you can expect to see. You can see the TMT expansion symbol, the TMC expansion symbol, and the pizza expansion symbol. The set code is, so you'll see the turtle face for the set, for the actual set. You'll see the shell for Eternal Legal sets, and then you'll see the pizza code for source material card sets, like the bonus sheet type stuff. Now, this is also where Universes Beyond is a little pervasive, because this will be legal in Standard. You will have Spider-Man fighting Raphael and Jace and all of the like in there now as a competitive Magic format. That's hard to accept, but it is a reality that we are currently living in. Now, if Harambe didn't die, I feel like this would all be a little bit different. But we have... What's that?
This is when it started going downhill.
Yeah. So we have a few new cards announced. Turtles Forever. It gives you artwork depictions of all the turtles from different eras. It is... So some people were like, "Oh, does this mean we're going to get sideboards in Commander now?" No. It's Standard legal, so don't get your hopes up. But you can add instant speed for 3 and a white. You can now search your library and or outside the game for exactly 4 legendary creature cards you own with different names. Now, this could actually be a cEDH card. I feel like this has potential. An opponent chooses 2 of them, put the chosen cards into your hand, and shuffle the rest into your library. This is a Gifts Ungiven, but for legendary creatures exclusively. So in certain, like even in Selesnya, in Azorius and stuff like that, like you can find yourself in a scenario or put your opponent in a scenario where there is no right choice for them. The 2 legendary creatures that are given either are redundant, do the same things, or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably like a Pile and Sisay that involves like a chainer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad either. Yeah, to get things back from the graveyard. And
Yep.
there's like right off the top of my head, I could even see this being played in Rocco, where some of the combo lines involve like Kiki Jiki, or Preston is also a line in Rocco decks. So maybe this is something that you see in that, where you, like we were saying, no wrong choices, or no right choice for your opponent. Rolling down, they are doing special treatments for certain cards, and this is our first look at Leonardo Super Samurai. So, and the new ninjutsu mechanic called Sneak. This is so Leonardo is a 3/3 for 4 mana, so 3 and a white Mutant Ninja Turtle Samurai that has gold text written over the effect that I cannot read. But it goes something like, you may cast, during your turn, you may cast creature spells with power or toughness 1 or less from your graveyard. If you cast a spell this way, that creature enters with a finality counter on it. I feel like that's a really powerful effect. There are a lot of X spells, or, like 1 toughness creatures that have abilities that are relevant to play like over and over again with Leonardo. The Sneak, I don't know why it's because you can get it out, I guess, at instant speed, and it's tapped and attacking. And then we have source material cards. So this is going to be your like pizza symbols and stuff like that. But right away, one thing we can acknowledge and love and appreciate about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is that it has been around forever, and it has provoked the imagination of generations. And so I think the card on screen is Doubling Season, which is a great reprint. It always is an awesome reprint for Commander players, but the artwork is that of the first iteration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like back in the comic books when they first became popular. So the artwork is beautiful on this. And this is the only card that we really have from like that bonus sheet that we've seen so far, but I'm excited to see more of these, if this is like the inspiration, if this is going to be like, if we just get to see tons of different eras of artwork, because the cartoon in the 90s was what I watched as a kid on like Fox Kids, when Digimon was over, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would come on. Like that was what I was used to. So I'm excited for those bonus sheet cards, the artwork, and as long as they're as flavorful and, beautiful as these are. We also have the Borderless Pizza Bundle. So there's a pizza bundle box that you can get. It's 6 cards from Magic's Past, topping them with pizza-themed artwork. We're going to get to some really, really great pizza-themed artwork here in a second. But
Yep.
this is a dark ritual and has the turtle shell on it. So this is legacy legal, but it is Splinter topping all the pizza with some strange ingredients. But Dark Ritual, always playable, always awesome. I'm not sure how popular this will be, but let's just move on to the elephant in the room, or the what? It's on screen. You got to put the hood up because it's horrible. I'm just gonna come right out. Actually, Rampage, go ahead. You first. I've been taking the lead. You first.
I don't know. I can't. It's the Pizza Lands. This is a choice. Someone made this. I thought, I think it's a cool concept. It's a cool idea. But man, the execution here. The fake looking nacho cheese melting into a pool of mystery materials leave a lot to be desired. I don't know that it is, but it screams AI. It screams low effort. It doesn't look like anything I would want to put in my deck.
Yeah. That's it. Hey, that is the good corporate answer. Like,
Yeah.
because this is some of the worst artwork I've ever seen. I'm in the food industry, y'all. I have no filter. All right. These are horrible. This is the worst artwork I've ever seen in all of Magic. And let me explain it to you, because I am in the food industry. Let me look at this delicious pizza that is presented before us. And before you come up with the argument that the Ninja Turtles put weird shit on their pizza all the time, let me just stop you right there. We're going to poke some holes in that, because at no time in any sort of fashion, animation, or anything like that were there microscopic whole jalapenos on a piece of pizza. Like, that's why it screams AI, is because, like, nobody in their right mind would illustrate, if they're trying to even be any sort of, like, have any sort of accuracy to realism at all, would illustrate peppers in that, like, in that way, or in that size, right? Because they're not real. There's no pepper that is that small. And why would you put a whole pepper on a piece of pizza? Now, I will say it is cool that they've been able to work all of the, like, mana symbols in some way onto the piece of pizza. The plains one doesn't really make sense, but it is the most coherent piece of pizza in the whole, I feel like, out of all of them. Let's go. Okay, so the plains, we'll just forget. Bananas on pizza, it's what it looks like. Bananas, onions, and what are those flower petals on there?
Cashews. I have no idea.
Cashews is a good guess. That's the best I've heard yet. And then there's these weird little brown things on it. But let's just point, it is a piece of pizza resting on a concrete slab. Okay? Like, look at what's underneath it. There's no way in hell that, like, in ever at all, did the turtles eat off of the street. They had pizza boxes.
Like a tree stump.
Yeah, it's got, like, weird cracks and striations in it. But the cheese is, like, melted as if it's a liquid goo underneath his hand. Like, it doesn't look delicious at all. That was the thing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was that when you looked at the pizza, it provoked, like, this, like, oh man, that saucy, stretchy, cheesy goodness. Like when you're watching the Goofy movie and he's spraying out the Leaning Tower of cheese, baby. Like that shit got you going. Like, it looked delicious. Now, if you have ever eaten a whole can of Cheez Whiz before, you know it's not that good. But that's not the point. It made me want to buy the Cheez Whiz. But let's move on to the island. The onion is a clever touch, but what is the cheese? What is Donatello picking the pizza up off of? Right? Because in the artwork, it is hard to describe. There's
a sea of clouds that are also made of cheese, obviously.
Yes. And you would be like, oh, he's just picking it up from the other slices of pizza. There's no coherent pizza at all. Like, it is, like you said, a cloud of C's that look like cheese. And then there's a full mollusk, a mussel with its shell still there in the mound of melted cheese. And full sardines, brother. This is hard. And I've got 3 more to talk about.
Have you ever ordered or eaten with a non-dairy cheese, like a vegan cheese? Yeah.
Like I've not ordered it with it, but I know what non-vegan, like non-dairy cheese is. Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. Like a melted, plasticky, fake cheese is what it looks like to me.
It looks
especially in the forest.
Yeah, it looks like craft singles at best. Melted craft singles on a pizza. Now, the swamp I think it's really clever. They use the mushroom to look like the skull. Like, that is beautiful. Well done. It was the first thing I noticed about all of these. That I was like, oh, that's clearly a mushroom. That's clever. It is being served on a dirty altar or a manhole cover, or if it was a manhole cover, it'd be flavorful. I have seen them eat pizza off a manhole cover, right? But this is something different. This is, and I know they're sewer creatures, but damn, there's just no way. There's no other slices next to it. I don't know, man. And the big thing in the room, this is what people have pointed out with all of these pizza lands and with Raphael specifically, is that they have not illustrated him with the proper weapons once yet. They've illustrated him every single time with a jite, without not a sai. So in this image, Raphael's famous for skewering pizza on his sai and eating it from there, right? And by the way, there's raspberries on this pizza. Does make sense. And they're like cut in half. Cut a raspberry in half and put it on something. Tell me what shape it takes. It falls apart. Spoiler alert. Especially after being cooked. Like, you serious? Come on. Know something about food. Whole peppers on there? Come on. Those are Thai chilies, but
whole peppers again.
Those are tiny Thai chilies, but any good or conscious pizza maker would not include the stem. I'm sorry. Okay. All things to take into consideration when you're producing artwork. The forest, the piece of broccoli, awesome. Broccoli does go on pizza. I do believe that broccoli makes an excellent pizza topping. The whole pepper is obviously unsettling. This strange noxious gas in the background, and then kiwis on pizza. All right, pizza lands done. Okay, those are the worst 5 basic lands that you, in my opinion, can put into your decks. They're so horrible. Some lands are horrible to the point where it's just like funny. You can like put it in something and it's like provides that, dude, you're playing those. And you're like, yeah, yes, I am. Like the very phallic islands from that Secret Lair.
Those are awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, there's no justification for them. Sorry. Chef Menace says no. Now, we are going to get play booster boxes, collector booster boxes, commander decks. We are getting a 5-color Turtle Power Commander deck. There's bundles. There's the pizza box. There's a draft night box. Now, this is a new product, I believe, that I'm okay with. Like, I think that if you want to do the draft experience with a group of friends, and you don't have to just go out and buy, like, you don't have to buy a box anymore. You can have,
sure.
Like, you're just like, hey, we're doing a draft, 4 of us. Hey, there's going to be 8 of us. Okay, I'd buy another one of these boxes. And it's a perfectly curated draft box. I think that's a good product, and I think that's something that maybe they should have had a long time ago. It's a little, like, I think this is something that we could see in the future for all sets moving forward. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been invited to drafts. Like, you go to a draft with just like a group of friends, meet a bunch of new people. So I think that's really awesome. They're doing a turtle team up product, which I'm not. Oh, they're doing villains. There's I forgot about this. There's like villain cards.
Yeah, what's that format? It's not Arch Enemy, but it's something close to it, right? It's like Arch Enemy adjacent, where it's like PvE almost.
Yeah, it's like the villain is a player on their own or something, or like maybe you take on, like, it's like an emblem that you are the villain. You get this effect at the start of each of your turns. So there were a few villain cards showcased that were, like, cleverly designed, and it does sort of like, create interesting or unique gameplay experiences if in the TMNT Magic universe. And then there's pre-release, which we will see. I think the success of a set is actually somewhat hinged on the pre-release turnout. So if the set is well designed, we all know that Avatar: The Last Airbender will be sold out. It'll be impossible to go to one of those pre-release events unless you get in early. You won't be able to walk in and do one. But TMNT might be one of those ones. We'll see how well designed the set is and how immersive it feels, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Out of all the cards that were spoiled, though, there's something I did want to talk about that I think is relevant for us as Magic players in our styles. What do you think about the mutagen token artifact?
Ooh, yes. Remind me what that does. I don't have it up.
So some of these turtles create it when they enter, or they have effects that create mutagens, but it's an artifact token that you create that has pay 1, tap it, sacrifice a token, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. So it sucks. It's limited to the sorcery speed, but I do think that this has potential. You know, like, I thought that the lander tokens might have potential in cEDH if they had printed a card good enough to warrant running basic lands, but that didn't happen. But I do think lander tokens are a cool new design space, and now we have mutagen, which is a less... Do you think it's a better explore or a worse explore?
Oh, it's easily better than Explore because I cannot for the life of me remember what Explore does. Was that a map token?
Yeah, the map token. That's what I'm talking about.
No, thank you. Miss me with that. I'll take a mutagen any day.
Okay, so prioritize this.
I'm kind of off on. I think they could have balanced it even good enough to make it free, and it still would have been questionable whether it was playable.
The sorcery speed is super limiting.
Yeah.
Like, I think by paying 1, you should be allowed to instant speed it. Like,
well, yeah, to like protect something, right? If something deal 5 damage to something and you can make yours 6 power and survive, great. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't think that's limiting towards the overall gameplay experience of, you know, I guess they're designing this for standard, so they see something maybe that we don't, but I feel like it's just not going to be playable if it's not instant speed. Like, map tokens, yes, they're playable because Get Lost exists. You're forced to use them from time to time, and that does provide value with things like the Spyglass Siren, because you have Zoetic Glyph and whatever. So that was kind of my thought, was like, is this something that works with Zoetic Glyph? Like, you could use it or replaces it because it's more consistently a +1/+1 counter and works better with Agatha's Soul Cauldron.
Do you think there's a world where Lorwyn gives us something that's persist adjacent, and this now, you know, works nicely? It plays nicely within standard with that thought process, that ideology.
And if the sorcery speed is in consideration of that, then yes, I think that is a necessary limitation.
But you can drive extra value out of your cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, especially with -1/-1 counters coming back. Yeah, I do think -1/-1. There might even be, because Wizards' mindset right now is very much this little thing that a card does. We're going to create an artifact that you can crack and get that effect. You know, they're doing it for everything. Like, the lander token, it's, you know, lander token, map token, blood token. God, there's more. Food token was like kind of like the first one of that nature. Junk, like the junk token in Fallout.
I forgot about. There's not a lot of junk token makers.
No, I was hoping that would get more support, but it definitely did not. So mutagen might be that thing. We might also get a mutagen, but from -1/-1 counters. Now that would be spicy because that would act like removal. So who knows if they would actually print something like that. All right. There were some new cards from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's see. That came out that do seem fun right off the bat. Like, they're doing partner with character select, which I think this can actually... They have the potential here. If they're going to totally lean into the Fortnite-ification of Magic the Gathering, they have a really cool opportunity here to do a Injustice crossover that I think would be flavorful, where you know how like you get you pick two characters and then you can fight against each other and swap out. You have like tag team and things like that. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were in Injustice as playable characters. So when you make your DC dudes or whatever, you give them partner with character select, and you can sort of recreate that for the people who love that. Cool idea.
It would help you balance it too. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. It's not just partner. It's not just, you know, anything and everything for forever can go together and you can mix and match however you want. They can control the design space a little bit and say, hey, if this breaks character select, maybe we're just going to pair it with Friends Forever or whatever the other partner mechanics are.
Yeah, because this just confirms, we already sort of saw it. I can't remember with what set, but we already sort of saw it, that this is how they've chosen to balance partner, is by giving these like partner character select, partner Friends Forever, partner blah blah this, blah blah that. So we're going to see that a lot moving forward, I believe. And then we get one of each turtle. We also get Splinter the Mentor, and then we get Tayam's new favorite toy, which doesn't have partner, but I know you're high on it. We got the Super Shredder as a new spoiled card. It's 1 in a black for a mutant ninja human, so typings are relevant here. Is a 1/1 with menace that whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Super Shredder. This is insane. Have you seen the ruling? Yeah. Did you see the ruling on it today? Someone posted on Reddit.
Oh, no, tell me more.
If you knock a player out, all of their permanents technically leave the battlefield and Shredder sees them.
Oh, shit.
So you get the +1/+1 counters for all their lands, all their creatures, all their artifacts and enchantments that leave.
Before you die, can I just count? Can I count these things around your board? I know you're really pissed and you want to scoop up your board and leave. Yes. But actually, I count everything because it matters. It affects me.
Yeah. So even if they scoop, the permanents leave the battlefield. So it's kind of funny. Anti-scoop tech.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate it when people scoop, so I'm going to put this in all my decks.
What are your thoughts on Super Shredder right off the bat?
It's so much fun. I have been trained in, as far as my Magic career goes, it's bad to rely on cards that force your opponents to do something to give you an advantage. You know, whenever if they do something a certain way, you draw a card or you make a treasure token or whatever. Yeah. Because then they can avoid doing that, and that really hurts you. That's more true for 1v1 formats. And when we talk about like Commander and some of the strongest cards in the Commander format, some of the best cards are ones that activate when your opponents do stuff. I don't know if you've heard of Rhystic Study or Archivist of Ogma or Mystic Remora, anything Smothering Tide. When your opponents take game actions, when they play the game, when they advance their board, you get some sort of advantage over it. I think this is another one of those. I've been liking like Mana Gorger Hydra effects in Tayam, and as a Tayam boy, I was super excited to see the Super Shredder. I don't think it's as good, but your opponents are going to be cracking fetch lands. This goes crazy during a breach line. Imagine being able to interact on a breach line because they're sacking their LED and they're going through their loop and they're like, I'm just going to do this and win. And you go, nope, actually, I need you to play that out because as soon as you get 3 on this, I'm going to bring back a Eidolon of Rhetoric, and now you're kind of hosed, you know?
Yeah.
I think it has application. I'm super skeptical of most cards when they enter the format. You know, is this a Tayam card? Well, it says it gets +1/+1 counters. That's got to be a Tayam card. No, not the case.
Not always.
But in this instance, I think that is the case. I think this is very good.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially Tayam stuff, you're triggering this yourself too. It doesn't just see your opponents.
Yes.
It sees you as well.
Yeah. So that was a point I was going to draw to it, is that this existing next to a Orcish Bowmasters is actually kind of crazy, right? As Tayam looks to activate and take those counters off of the Orc army, that Orc army will lose its final +1/+1 counter and die. And so you get an additional counter on Super Shredder, and you go to reanimate the Orcish Bowmaster or whatever. It's also been stripped of its counters and dead to a sack outlet, and so another counter, and these come back. Now you're netting, it might even be win more in some instances where you just I can activate this twice, but now I'm netting so many counters. I think that this might actually fix the issue with Tayam not having enough counters. Super Shredder is a worthy card to pitch an Elvish Spirit Guide to. It's you pitch it so you can get it out first turn, right? Everyone's talking. This replaces we already talked about it, replacing ification Money Changer, right? But this replaces that for me almost immediately, and I think that this has potential to also punish life totals, where you can now play effects that are hey, get this bonus from punching dudes or punching your opponents. So this can pressure Blue Farm's life total to make the ad nauseam less. This can come down, and then on turn 2 it's a 6/6 menace. There is a reality where it's a fetch into a Lotus Petal into this thing. Someone tries to speed out of the gates, and you've gone first and put the Super Shredder out there. I think that that's this is something that feeds off of a Mystic Remora being pitched, or not, you don't want to pay the upkeep cost, so now that goes away. This is something that completely feeds off of Smothering Tithe, where it's no, I won't pay, get that treasure or whatever, but I just know that I'm holding up mana, I have answers in my graveyard, and Super Shredder is just going to keep generating counters. Now I just really want to see what kind of creativity can be put into it, where when a +1/+1 counter is put on a creature you control, if there are effects like that, where it's oh, now I'm breaking the game. So almost like Scurry Oak, that when something enters,
sure.
Where
a way to give it that effect.
Yeah. I just want to be able to I wonder if something right now, even Hardened Scales with this creates one of the deadliest creatures that you're ever going to see in a casual Commander game, or even in competitive.
If it doesn't kill someone, it's going to make their ad nauseam worthless. It's going to make them unable to Bolas' Citadel. Their Necropotence is going to get them 2 cards.
Yeah, you're going to punish life totals incredibly fast with this. And yes, it has menace. Yes, you are going to eventually generate enough creatures, but in creature builds, which are more prominent than ever, you're going to hold your Voice of Victory up so that you can block this thing after a certain point, if you're not able to push the win. So I do think.
Way to go. Ending on a new Tayam card. I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is a Tayam cEDH podcast. All right. Let's get out of here. I said quick and concise, and now we're over the hour mark. So any final thoughts, Rampage, on today's discussion?
No, I think we hit the nail on the head. TMNT, I think it can be cool. There's questionable decisions made, as there is with every other Secret Lair Universes Beyond decision that's happened recently.
Yes. Now, this is also my opportunity to call for Mark Rosewater to retire. I'm not calling for him to get fired, but respectfully bow out, my dude. You've done plenty for the Magic community. We love you. Don't let it go so far that you do instigate a riot on your behalf at MagicCon. Yes. Anyway, yeah, it was fun. We touched on a lot of little things, a lot of big things, and maybe I blabbed or ranted for a little too long at points, but I hope that if you stuck around to this point in the show, that you have considered hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, and liking the show. and finding us on YouTube and subscribing there, increasing our count. We are at 584. And guess what? We have a new achievement. Happy 3rd anniversary. This show's been on the air for 3 years on YouTube. So check us out there. Help us get to 600, because once you get to 600, it just jumps straight to 700. Everyone knows that. So it's just going to go straight there. And then once you hit 700, you go to 1,000. So 16 more and we'll be at 1,000. That's how the math works on that. And you can also find us on all major podcasting platforms where you can like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Or not that. You can leave us a 5-star review to make us look super duper cool. And you can also support us on Patreon by becoming an official Pepperhead for $3 a month. Support the show. Have your name turned Dr. Pepper Red on the Discord server. And drop your deck list in the Discord server. And let's brew something up. I talked about Shiko for a long time. I'm going back in and I'm reworking Shiko to, some updates. Let's see. We're working on this Emil list. I know that you're working on an Emil list as well, Rampage.
Oh, yeah. I put in a Sans Blue deck list over the weekend. It's a shell. It's for anyone to use. Grab that. It's a food chain pile. It's just good cards that synergize super well. Try that out. I have this vision where we build 4 decks with that shell, all kind of different varieties, different brewers, and we put them head to head and we see which one comes out on top. That was a Elmar and Warnog list.
Yeah. Your investigate clue deck. Yeah. Love that. Jump on there, share your deck list. Let's chat about it. And that's it. Yeah. This has been another episode of the MoxStars podcast. You are awesome if you've made it this far. We love you, and our faces are going bye-bye. We'll see you next week. Bye.